again, I wanted to come onto the screen and recording as well. Please speak something.
No.
That this is a beautiful dragon skull that I'm so blessed to own, and is a delicious fluorite.
Yes, then thank you so very much for getting it here. Now let us all begin with today's session. All the dragon blessings are in place, and thank you so very much for getting them here. So, those of you who can come onto the screen and be more participative, I request you to come onto the screen. As we begin, I'm muting everyone. So whenever you need to speak, please unmute yourself and mute again. Now, my very first question here to all of you is, what is karma in our understanding? What is karma? Is everyone able to hear me? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Have I asked something very difficult to answer?
गुड इवनिंग सिद्धि मैम.
Good evening.
कर्मा जो हमने किसी भी जन्म में जो हमने किसी के प्रति कोई भाव रखा था, कोई काम किया था, वो है हमारे अच्छे बुरे हर तरह के.
Okay. That is one understanding. Yes. What else?
Ma'am, karma, I feel, is the day-to-day thing that we do, think.
Okay. Yes. What more?
Maybe good, maybe bad. All that counts in karma.
Yes. What more?
Karma is the energy created by us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The energy created by us.
Yes, it is.
The actions we do.
Yes, the actions we
Every
take, the
action has
choices
a-
we make. Yes.
Every action has a repercussion. So maybe that is.
Yeah. Yes. For 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and explore on what is the literal meaning of karma. Okay? And from there, we'll take it ahead. The literal meaning of karma is to do something. Karma karna. The word karma means I'm doing something. If I'm breathing, it is my karma. I'm doing something. If I'm eating, that also can be termed as my karma. Karma simply means something that we are doing. Now, whether we've done it in past, whether we are going to continue doing certain things in future, or what we are doing presently. You all are listening, I'm speaking. We all are doing some kind of karma over here. But then, why do we get very scared when we use the word karma? Because we think that something is going to come into our life and we need to pay. Something very awful is going to come into our life and we are going to be paying for whatever we've done wrong. And we all end up assuming that we've only done wrong deeds in our past. And that's why we are going to be paying for all that we've done. Now, I'm not debating what we've done in our past, right? I'm here to talk about how we can change our karmic patterns. That includes our present, that includes our future, and how we can change our karmic pattern will also dwell into what we've done in our past and we can start changing it. All right. Now, I need for us to understand one thing, that karma is attached with our soul. It's not with our body, it's with our soul. It's something we take from one life to the other life, to the other life, to the other life. And as we evolve with our patterns from one life, we will take this evolved pattern with us into the other life. And then we'll take, if we are able to evolve further ahead, we'll take that. Someone is trying to say something. May I request everyone to be on silent or mute for a while? Yeah, whenever you need to ask, please unmute yourself and then mute again so that everyone else gets the comfort of listening to this. And this is very important for everyone. So, I'm living this life. If I was able to evolve, I came with a pattern into this life. If I was able to evolve in this life, I will take that evolved pattern into the next. So it is something that stays with you. It is something that goes on from one life to the other. So let's suppose I moved on to the other life. And in that life, I could or I could not evolve, or maybe I made some more mistakes. That pattern I'm going to carry into one more life. And from there on, I will, the way I evolve or the way I have made choices, is going to be staying with me for a while. And that's why, that is precisely the reason why we are scared of karma and we want to be wrapping it up as soon as possible because we all seek peace. Now, the suffering and the patterns and everything else, let us understand how they are connected with our soul and how it is going to help us and how this entire science is going to work for us. So, when I say we need to go ahead and break our karmic pattern, I mean two things over here. Number one is understanding what kind of lessons my soul is learning here. I am here to learn some lessons, and I'll tell you how this works in just 2 to 3 minutes. I will give you a flavor of my super cool doodles, and I will show you in my best capacity how this works with us. So, one is understanding our soul lessons because we all are here to do it. If it was a soul family that was to form, and that was to come together and do something, like right now over here, we all are together discussing something, talking over something. It was decided, it was a part of our contract. Yes, karma also means that there is something contractual playing over here. And second is, when I'm saying that let's change our karmic patterns, it means breaking out of the circles that we've created for our own selves. It means learning out of it, and second, breaking out of the circles that we've created for ourselves. Now, let us first understand how this whole story came to be. Okay, so I'm going. Our own selves. It means learning out of it, and second, breaking out of. I'm sorry. The sorry about that. Now, I'm coming to the whiteboard and making you understand how this all started. Is everyone over here able to see a whiteboard? Yes, some thumbs up sign. Okay, awesome. Now, let us assume there was this person who crossed over. When the person crosses over, takes form of a soul. Now, the soul goes straight up to a place where an entire review of the soul's life is given to the soul. So, this review, let's just say it is Chitragupta Chitta. In this review, there are multiple sections. One section is you were here to take so many learnings, out of which you're able to take this, you're able to take this, you're able to take this, but you've not been able to take two more learnings. That means there are learnings you still need to take. You've done certain good deeds here, you'll be rewarded, and maybe there are some mistakes that you've done. That means the amount of learning the soul had to take has increased. Now, the soul is not only going to take 5 learnings that were pending, sorry, 2 learnings that were pending, but 3 more added. That means it has become 5 learnings. Now, at this point, an option is given to the soul. The option here is the soul will get to decide whether all these learnings the soul is going to take in one life, or 2 lives, or 3 lives, or multiple lives. The soul gets to decide that I will select. I'm a very brave soul. So I'm going to be taking only one life to take all my learnings in one go. And these are the kind of souls we sometimes see. Someone will not have a leg, someone is begging on the road. We sometimes talk about relationship issues, we talk about financial issues. These guys have got absolutely nothing. They don't even know whether they are going to get a bottle of water today. So they are begging, they have health issues, they have relationship issues, they have money issues, all kind of issues they are facing in one life, in one go. But they are going through it because they've decided that in one life, I'm going to be taking so many learnings. Then there are souls who decide that, okay, one life uh, might be very short to take all these learnings. I'm going to be taking 2 lives or 3 lives, stuff like that. So this soul has decided the soul will go ahead and take these learnings into certain time. Post which the soul is then sent. The soul is sent to another room. And there are so many different souls. Like there are many, many souls waiting. So the first soul is asked, now you have to be making contracts with the other souls so that you can play some role in their life, they can play some role in your life. In order for you to go ahead and learn a few things, they will have to come and give those learnings to you. They might need to trouble you, they might need to nudge you, they might need to do certain things for you so that you learn these things into your life. So, what really happens, the soul goes from here to the very first soul and says that, uh, you know what, I want you to go ahead and do me a favor. I have to take in so and so learning in my life, maybe relationship learning. I want you to come and kick my butt. So, will you please do that for me? So, the soul one here thinks for a while and says that, you know what? If I do that to you, I will have to answer. I'll have to do a negative karma, and then I will have to also take my learnings. So, I'm not ready to do that for you because then it will make my life on the earth plane or different planes unnecessarily longer. So I'm not going to do that for you. So get lost, find someone else. So the soul kicked him out. So this one goes to another soul. So another soul tells him that, you know what? It's good that you've decided to take this learning. I will help you, but in a different way. What I can do for you is when you're going to take that learning into your life, I'm going to come into your life and tell you a few things that will remind you of what you need to do in life, that will remind you of right steps, that will remind you of right things that you need to be doing. So I can play that role in your life, but I am not willing to go ahead and spoil my karma for giving you a lesson. So, one more. So, here's where a contract gets created. Now, the soul moves forward and speaks with one more soul. Now, this soul immensely is in love with the first soul. At a soul level, there's so much of love. So, this soul decides that, you know what, it doesn't matter what I go through, I will take care of it. But for you, I will come into the life and I will give you this lesson. So, there's one more contract getting created with one more soul. Now, likewise, the soul is going on discussing many things with many different souls, and at small and big and all different levels. There are many, many contracts that are made with so many souls, and then the soul comes back into a place where it is taken alive. Now, as a lot of spiritual gurus, masters say, and if you remember from Kung Fu Panda, Master Rugve says there are no accidents. Everything is planned. Every word we speak is planned. Every breath we take is planned. Because with souls, the thing is, there are number of breaths that a soul needs to take, or certain things that the soul needs to do in this life. That is the contract. And the minute it is over, the second it is over, the split second it is over, the soul is not going to stay with this body. It will instantly move out of the body to map the further journey. And that is how the whole game is about. It's our body is like clothes. The minute it feels the need to change it, it will change and go on to the further journey. But in this life, everything, so even if there's someone I meet on the road and I ask the person for a direction, that I don't know where this place is, the person is giving me that direction, is also planned. The smallest of events to the biggest of relationships in our life are planned that way. So when the soul comes into life, now I'm not talking about the small and big and all these details, but I'm only talking about the karmic relationship. Now, if you were to think about which are karmic relationships in my life, most likely this will be the identification. The relationships that have taken you in an emotional roller coaster are the ones that are karmic. You can't live with them because you feel you are going through a lot of turmoil, but you can't even leave them. So that is the kind of relationships that are there in your life that you feel extremely insecure if you wanted to go ahead and leave them. You don't want to do. You feel very attached. There are times when you meet a person and within seconds or split seconds, you feel that magnetic pull towards the person. I'm not talking about your soulmates. That's a little different from your karmic relationships. Your soulmates help you realize your self-worth, while your karmic relationships are here to balance out a lot of things, maybe from previous lives or maybe on account of the kind of contracts we've made with them. So I hope till here we all are clear as to what has happened with this soul, right? After this, what really happens is the soul starts living the regular life. This is the person who's going to give the soul a learning, and this is the soul. So between them, they've created a little mess here. The person came and kicked the soul's butt. The soul did not like it. The soul did not like it and decided that, you know what, I'm going to give this back. So this soul goes ahead and creates bigger mess because now the soul wants to give back. Now this soul did not like it, so it created even bigger mess. And maybe this life ended. They move on to another life with decisions that say that, you know what, I'm going to give back to you. And then another life. So something that was very small is taken such a big shape that there are times when we see people going through brutal murders, even beyond. But if there was a time that one of these souls could choose and decide that, you know what, I'm not going to be contributing to this mess that is created in this relationship. I'm going to be breaking free from this pattern. We'll start taking a U turn from wherever it is. And that bigger problem slowly starts coming down to a very small issue and then basically goes off. If you will go through Jain scriptures, or sometimes, or maybe are able to come across a story of Parshvanath Lord, this is the only story I've come across. This has nothing to do with religion, but the story starts in a life where a soul decides to forgive the other soul. In over 9 different lives, the soul had to consistently do forgiveness for the soul to be able to come out of it completely and find a space for his ascension. You will be able to actually see what happens in these 9 lives. So, this was just a request. If you come across, and you can read the story. If not, we are continuing. So, if one soul decides that, you know what, does not matter who started off, does not matter whose fault it is, I'm going to be stopping this. Forgiveness is one of the very powerful ways to get rid of negative karmas or negative relationships, negative karmic relationships in your life. So, there are a lot of ways one can do forgiveness, and I will be talking about it. Yes, Nishna, you've raised your hand. Please ask me.
Okay. Hi, Siddhii. I just wanted to know what I've heard is when the soul, let's say today I'm in contact with you and we have a sort of deep connection or whatever. But at some point in another life, we still will be connected, but you can be my sister, you can be my mother-in-law, you can be so I just wanted to understand where you put that sort of box where there are many, many souls. So basically, if my father can be my brother in the next life, so usually isn't that those type of souls that you're going to turn around with each time? And that's why you say, or everybody says you have to cut cords with everyone. So you sort of end of that relationship or whatever.
Yes. So, let us say there are two kinds of emotions. One is negative, one is positive. One soul, when just meets someone, is just a friend and grows very fond. The other friend is also reciprocating in the same way. They always want to give each other more and more and more and more and more. In the whole life, the only desire is to contribute more in the other person's life. And then that desire can also move to the other life. Maybe in other life they'll become sisters. They are sharing the life together and they are tightly bonded that way. However, it depends on contracts. The soul, before comes onto the life and takes this life, has made contracts in which it is also defined that this soul is going to be playing certain role in my life. So it might come as spouse. Does not matter what has been the relationship before. Maybe it was a relationship of, sorry, brother and sister who used to fight so much, and now that is ended up becoming something else where we both need to take a life and give each other some kind of lessons. Can become spouse in this life, or maybe a mother daughter who has now taken some other learning and have become maybe mother-in-law and daughter-in-law who are not comfortable with each other at all. So these kind of, and yes, while it makes complete sense that the soul might come back to these kind of relationships more often, it does not mean that soul will stick with only these relationships, because the soul has weaved in some kind of relationship with these souls before. It is likely that the soul will come back with them once again to maybe balance it out or to do certain things that are really important, right? So
Like,
Mhm.
sorry, Siddhi. Okay, let's say we are in primary school or kindergarten. So you do meet people, you do meet a teacher. So basically, you did have a contract with that person at that point, but it was a short-term contract, and
Yeah,
then you move on from that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. There are times when, one person comes into your life to tell you only one sentence which you still remember. Which you still remember because it impacted you, it made a difference in your life, and from there your life changed. I had a teacher like that in my life. I used to learn from her for more than a I learned something from her. But the day she told me that particular sentence, which I had to hear, I think my contract with her ended. I could not continue because of multiple reasons, or she could not continue because of multiple reasons after that. But that one sentence she told me more than 10 years before, I still remember it word by word. It changed my life. So, yes, there are times when things like these happen. There are times when strangers, complete strangers, come into your life to tell you something and then just leave. I've also had very stupid experience when once I was sitting in the bus and I was tensed about something. And someone from outside told me that you're very stressed. Don't go looking like this. And that made me realize that I should be smiling the whole time, even though there is some kind of stress. I will be better poised to deal with it. And that person was completely strange, but I learned the lesson in that moment. So that was it. So there are times when people will come into your life to play these roles and move out. In fact, if you'll observe, there are times when there are friends who will pop up in your life only when you're going through a troubled phase, or only when they are going through a troubled phase. And you are to play some role in their life, or they are to play some role in your life. And that's how it's very complex, but it is very deep. If you start observing and if you start becoming aware, you'll understand what kind of very specific relationships you have, even if it is with your mom, or even if it is with your daughters and sons, and even if it is with others. There are certain specific things you'll experience only with them, and you'll realize. So our learnings also will come out with them in that particular way. So, Anupamaji, you've raised your hand.
Siddhi, please tell the name of the book, the story that you were telling about forgiveness.
Uh-huh. So no, it's not a book. Just look up for story of Lord Parshvanath. You'll get to know. If I find it out somewhere, I'll share it on the group, so you all will be able to
Siddhi, one question.
read it.
So the
Yeah.
soul
Thank you.
connect is usually with family members, or it could be with friends or anybody else, you know? You
Yeah, it
said,
could be with anyone, friend. It could be your colleague. It could be your batchmate. It could be anyone.
so anybody and everybody you come in contact with have, I mean, there's a reason for the connect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes, Tejalji.
Siddhi, so basically what you're telling is everybody whom we meet, so like teachers like you and me, we have soul contracts with so many
So
people.
many. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like mind blowing. And one more thing I want to ask Siddhi, so if everything is predestined, pre-designed and everything, why are we making this effort? What are we doing and how can we change anything?
Okay, I'll tell you that. And I was coming to that. However, if everything is predestined, there are only a few choices with us. We are not going to be able to change the course of our life after this, but we are going to be able to change our karmic pattern, which will make the course of life more interesting or more easy or effortless for us. So that is what I was coming to. Number one, when we do, yeah, sorry, you're trying to say something?
Yes, Siddhi, what I'm trying to understand is that now by working on our karmic pattern and whatever you said, I understood that we reverse and not complicate things more and make our lives harder.
Hmm.
But are there some things that we just have to endure no matter what, and there's nothing we
Yeah,
can do to
yeah,
get
that's
past
what
that?
I'm coming to. And it is going to take me more than 5 minutes. So I'm just setting a ground for it. And for others also to understand with ease. So give me 5 minutes and then tell me whether I have answered it properly for you. So, number one, when we go ahead and change this, it's not that our challenges are going to end. All right. However, the way negativity influences us during those challenges, it stops doing that. Now, in Hindi, In fact, in Sanskrit, there's something called as Vinash Kale Viparit Buddhi. That means whenever it is time for destruction in your life, you will end up making wrong choices. You will go ahead and do some goof up, because of which you have to go ahead and suffer. Now, this happens because somewhere you realize that, it is my mistake only. I did not do this right, and that's why I'm suffering this. While you're very smart, you're very talented, you can make right choices. Why didn't you do it? Because you were to suffer. It's also because there was some kind of negativity hovering over you, and you were influenced by that, and that happened. So, what happens when you change the karmic pattern is the influence of this negativity reduces on you. You're able to make clearer, more positive choices. Now, moving to how we can break it. Number one, I'm talking about right now the present choices that we are making. I'm right now not talking about what we've done in the past and we are cutting it off. First, I'm talking about right now. What I can do that from here on, I'm going to be able to make right choices for me. Anything that happens in our life, we give very instant and quick reactions sometimes. So, for an example, there were three people I was to pick from here. I'll pinch person one very hard. Person is going to just flinch away, say that leave me alone. If I'm going to do that to another person, the person's reflex will be he'll hit me like go away. I'm not going to be tolerating this. And person three will be like just releasing it and saying that what's the matter? Why you're seeking my attention this way? Do you need something? Tell me, I'm here. Now all three of them, why the instant reflex was this is because person one had fear in the mind, with pinching. This is going to hurt me and flinched away. Person two was operating from rebel. It's like I'm not going to be taking anything from anyone. And that's why I'm going to give back. While the person three made spiritually mature choice that someone is trying to seek my attention. Is there something I need to pay attention to? The person three wasn't suffering at all. Of course, it must have pained because it was a hard pinch. There was pain, but there was no suffering. The person three made a choice. Person one also made a choice. Person two also made a choice. Person one's choice was, I'm hurt and now I'm fearful. That happened very instantly because it had not moved out from the very core. It was residing in person one's subconscious. Person two's subconscious was made of rebel. Like something has happened and now I'm going back and fighting it out. Whether it is something very irrelevant, the person's rebellious nature will make the person go and fight it out, even if it is very insignificant. And we come across many people like that in our life. We also come across very fearful people in life. And person three understands. He's won over that fear, he's won over that rebel. He's like, no, I don't want to be contributing this way, and answered in a certain way. Now, what I'm saying is that there are challenges that come into our life, there are relationships that come into our life at any given point in time, being more mind aware. Instead of reacting instantly, are we able to make a choice that is spiritually matured? Now, what I'm saying is spiritually matured is just consider two things. Number one, if I make these choices, what are the kind of consequences I and the other person will face? So, if I'm giving back, what is the kind of consequence I'm going to face and this person is going to face? And number two is which one of these choices will bring in more happiness for all of us, not just for me, for all of us. Only these two questions, when you'll keep on your mind. Number one, what are the kind of consequences I will have to bear, and everyone in this situation will have to bear. And number two, which one of these choices that I'm considering will bring in more happiness, which will mark a beginning of a new chapter in your karmic relationships. Stop reacting in the very same moment. If you need to go ahead and take a few deep breaths, go ahead and do it until you decide. There is no hurry that you have to go ahead and answer right there and then. And when I said this to one of my friends last week, he said, no, but you come into a situation where you have to do something in 5 minutes. How are you going to handle it? My only answer to him was that, you know what, even if you have 5 minutes, how you spend your 5 minutes counts for far more than what you do at the end. Because if you are making conscious choices, and patiently making conscious choices is going to define the kind of decision you're going to make. If you're making your choices fearfully, that is also going to define the kind of choice you are going to make. So, even if it is 1 moment or 5 moments or 3 moments, your state of mind is going to be defining the kind of choices you're going to be making. So, people who were wondering, what can I do? Because sometimes I come across situations where you just lose your mind. One very age old technique over here is to go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths, nothing else. Just deep breath and body check yourself. Now, even when I'm thinking about the consequences of what is the right choice for me to make, I don't know what is the right choice for me to make. Both of them seem right to me, and I don't know what is it that I must do. In these cases, also, you can go ahead and do this body check. Like your body will tell you a right action that you can make. How can you do it? Is, for an example, I have two choices to be made. One is working it out on my own or maybe something else. I will visualize two paths in front of me. I will start walking one path and I will simply observe how my heart is reacting. I will simply observe how my heart is reacting, what are the kind of visuals I'm seeing, nothing else. Now I will come back from there. I will take path two. This point in time also, I will simply observe that if I'm doing this, what are the kind of visuals I'm seeing and how is my heart truly reacting. There will be a difference between both of them. At least in one of them, my heart will be more joyful, happier, and in a state that we can call comfort. The one choice makes my heart comfortable is the one I need to be making. This is also your test of subconscious. Your subconscious reacts through your body, through these reactions. And that's why a lot of times unforgiveness creates many, many issues in heart or in your body. There are multiple places we store them. Anger can create issues like piles. Unforgiveness can create issues like cancer, and there are many more to list and that are happening due to negative karmic relationships. Second, to continue doing this, every time be more mind aware. Now, I'll tell you about something, and that is very important. Everything that is not love is a negative karmic pattern. Everything that is not love is a negative karmic pattern. Now, what I mean is here. We realize a lot of things. People are jealous of us, or someone doesn't like me, or someone thinks that I'm this way or I'm that way. Likewise, so many things are happening around us. Number one, it's because we are also judging. We are judging where there is lack of love, we judge. When we love someone deeply, like our own children, even when they make mistakes, are we able to forgive them? We freely? Yes. What if it was our subordinate? Do we forgive them the very same way because we are paying them and we are doing so much with them? No. Are we able to forgive our relatives in the same way? Our brothers in the same way? No. So, wherever there is love flowing, we don't judge, and we forgive people easily because we operate from that space that is called love. Whenever we have love towards universe, we are able to go ahead and forgive. Now, today I received someone's call, and last week I received someone's call. She was like, my mother-in-law behaves with me in a certain way. Now, what do I do? I said, can you forgive? Like, I don't know whether she deserves it. I said, do you deserve forgiving? Like, I understand that. I understand that I need to release it out of my system. But sometimes I'm at a loss as to what do I go ahead and tell her? Because I have to force my smile when she's smiling at me. And I know that she's forcing her smile too. And I hate the fact that I have to go ahead and forcefully smile at her. Like, why you're smiling at her? Don't smile at her. Smile at the universe. The universe has placed a situation in front of you because you decided to get into a situation. And if you are in love with universe, smile at the situation and let it come naturally. It is your choice to respond in a certain way when certain karma has come up in your life. This is a karmic choice you're making. When someone comes and behaves in a certain way, are you going to be smiling? Are you going to be crying? Are you going to be frowning? Or are you going to be simply ignoring? Because once ignored, this particular learning will come to you in your life again. And maybe that time with multiplied energy so that you pay more attention. And this is how karma works. I ignored it once. Next time it is going to multiply and seek my attention. I hope this is not becoming very heavy for you all. You're able to absorb whatever I'm saying. Nice. So, number one, never ignore or run away. Number two, always be taking and giving your lessons with a smile. There are times when you'll realize that you are playing a role in someone else's life, giving them lessons. And now that you all are becoming spiritually more aware, you might not like the fact that you are giving someone else's lesson in a negative way to others. Then you can make a choice that I'm not going to be giving the lesson through so much negativity in my heart. Even though I'm playing a certain role, I'm not going to be nurturing that negativity within me. When you're taking the lessons, when you're able to forgive, and when you're able to flow the love within you and around you so much that you're able to dissolve all the other emotions like anger, like jealousy, like greed, or anything else that was troubling you so or this relationship so far. The same minute your karmic pattern starts changing. Maybe for the first time it will take only so much of effect. The second time it will happen more. Now I have had done these karmic forgiveness with many people, whether it is a boss and a subordinate, whether it is brothers, or whether it is sister in laws in one family, or whether it is parents and kids, or even husband and wife. And all of them over a period of time have seen their relationships flourishing. This is one particular thing that comes with a lot of confirmation that yes, it will happen. Might not happen in one life for a lot of people who are going through a lot of issues. Like when I had to do it with my own father, it took me 3 months because that was something very important and deep rooted between inside both of us. While in one of my students' come friend's life, when she had to do it with her father, it took her about 1.5 years. But it made the relationship so flourishing and so beautiful that whatever was otherwise also existent, smaller things that pest you, cleanly got wiped out. And it made the relationship better for lives to come. All right. So when you're going on making choices from present to future, these are the things you must remember. Number one, always make positive choices. Number two, always be mind aware of whatever's happening and what kind of things you need to be choosing at this point. Body check. Whenever you don't know what needs to be done, body check and let the love flow. Now, there are times when we are not open to things like forgiveness. We are not open to things like, how do I go ahead and heal it further? How do I go ahead and let love flow? There are healing systems like Lady Kuan Yin's lavender flame that helps you in a big and great way, opening you up to forgiveness. Not only that, it has certain ways you can go ahead and clean your karmic pattern. It just helps you clean it. It, in fact, brings forward a lot of things that you need to change in your life going forward. Now, I'm talking about the old patterns which are reciprocating in our life, what we've done in past and is coming into our life right now. In that case, take the challenges with a smile. You don't have to react instantly. You need to ask yourself first thing, what is the kind of learning I will take? So even if it is a simple thing like I was going to do something, I crushed my thumb, and it was bleeding profusely. The bleeding didn't stop for 4 hours. I will sit and I will think of what is the kind of learning I had in this. I can suffer in this pain, or I can sit and decide and choose that, yeah, something has happened. I need to be paying attention. It is seeking my attention. Let me know what is my learning out of it. So while all this is happening, I can choose not to suffer. Buddha said, pain is inevitable, suffering is your choice. Sorry, Satyavachan. So pain will keep coming into your life. Suffering is something that happens in your mind and your heart, right? So this way, this is also one of the ways you can transcend the old patterns. Now, if you go ahead and working towards transcending the old patterns, work with meditations that reprogram your subconscious and healing energies that help you change the patterns. If not, in the meantime, identify. Now, today, when you go back or when you are sitting right now, just see which is the most painful area in your life. Let us say money or relationship or um, health or something else. And then observe which are the patterns that are repeated. Maybe something that relapsed, maybe something that I see as a common factor in all my relationships, or all my romantic relationships, or all my money relationships. Am I cheated? Am I doing this or am I doing that? In that, now you will never blame anyone. Whatever kind of challenges that have come in the life, today take an oath and vow that you will never blame anyone else, but you will go inward and start finding what is it that I did wrong, what I could have done better in order to break this circle out of my life. The minute we are blaming others because we are facing something, that is the first step towards saying that I'm not ready to change my karmic pattern. That is exactly going the opposite way. So go ahead and identify the things that you think you could have done better. Now relive the situation in your mind. And if they've happened in multiple times, observe every situation one after the other and see what could have made a difference. What kind of contribution you could have done that could have turned the whole table in the whole situation for you. So maybe if I feel that I'm getting cheated every time, maybe I've seen a pattern that I'm someone who does not read through the papers very carefully. If I was to sit and read through the papers very carefully and identify those areas that might not work in my benefit, would I have done something? Now, that is one thing I identified. Maybe there's something else I must identify, that maybe I trust people easily. There's no problem trusting the universe. But if I wanted to trust the person, was there something that I could do? Could I do a background check for the person? Could I speak with the existing clients of the person? Could I do something else that made my life easy going forward? So, where is it that I lacked? How can I fill the lack? Is one thing I'm leaving you all with. And for everything apart from our patterns and healing and meditations, I'm coming up with a beautiful 11 days programs called Karmic Pattern Changes. That is starting on 5th of October. Those of you who would like to undergo exercises, meditations, Lady Kuan Yin's lavender flame healings are welcome to come and take and subscribe. This is one of the must do programs for Navratri. Navratri is the time when we let go of our inner demons and transform and emerge as a new person. We let the inner goddesses thrive and survive inside of us. We bank on those energies. So, whether you plan to take this 11 days work up or no, these 11 days start observing your karmic patterns and start changing. Start seeing all the patterns and everywhere and start seeing what is it that you could contribute more. Apart from this, one more suggestion from my end comes to you is during Navratri, it is also one of the time where you go ahead and pay attention to your psychic vision empowerment. So go ahead, chant, go ahead, meditate, whatever you feel like doing, do it. That helps benefit empowering your psychic vision. And with this, and with these small little solutions, I'm ending what I had to give you today, but I'm open to go ahead and answer your questions. So if there are any, please go ahead and ask.
Thank you, Siddhi. That was really eye-opening and
Thank you. I hope I
very.
answered your question.
Yes, you did. And I got a lot more insights also. That example you gave about how one reacts from fear or rebel and spirituality. I feel I'm a bit of everything in different with different people. So in my work, I'm the third person, and with my husband, I'm 100% rebel only. So I know what I need to work on now.
So see, this way you might be giving him also a lesson.
Yeah, probably.
So from now on, give your lessons coming from the space of love. You can do that.
Thank
You
you
know,
so
one
much.
thing changed. Thank you for bringing this about. In this example, I've given in a lot of my workshops, but I'm opening it for everyone to hear this today. When I was in my corporate world, okay, when I used to enter my office, there used to be pin drop silence, like not a single voice. People used to be scared of me. They would be like, "Arey, if we are caught doing anything wrong, we, her eyes will definitely catch it and we are gone." Even if it was one tiny mistake in one paper, which no one has seen, Siddhi has seen it, and they are getting late night work because of which. And I was enjoying myself because I wasn't seeing everything from their point of view. I was seeing myself as a person who delivers timely work, who delivers great job, and I was always my client's favorite. Because of which I used to rule my office coming from the space of fear. And I thought that that had been the right thing to do. It's okay if they are fearful of me. Because of that, they are doing a right job. Until one fine day when I was just sitting and thinking, and I was slowly opening up to love, I realized that, you know what? I can win over with love. I don't need to win over with fear. And slowly I started making everyday changes. After 3 months' time, people were like, I don't know, what have you been eating? You know, you've changed completely. And even then, I used to deliver great job. I used to deliver timely job. But that time, I used to be more careful not only to make my clients' lives easy, but to make my colleagues' lives easier too. So I was doing a balancing act. I was understanding everything in a complete way, and I ended up making more friends than ever. So, this is a shift I had to take. I hope this helps everyone who is struggling with one emotion or the other when you are in your life. Yes. Okay,
Siddhi, can I ask?
sure.
Siddhi, can I ask?
Yes,
Siddhi,
please.
like you said that like if there are two paths in our life, then we walk one path and we see how our body reacts. Now, suppose we don't know any path, like we are just stuck in our life. We don't know which way to take. Like it's not going further, it's not going back. It's just stuck at that particular place. Then what? Like there may be some kind of karmic pattern that is blocking us. Like how
Mm,
to release that? Because like you are
mhm.
stuck at that particular position. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backward. Everything is just stationary and stagnant there. Then what?
Yeah,
What steps are we going to take? Like we can.
yeah,
What can we do then?
yeah. So, I'm not talking about a situation over here. I'm talking about me as a person. I cannot define how the situation moves. I can never define how the other person should be treated. Okay. So when I'm saying that, what could I do to change this situation? Now my situation has become stagnant. I can think of what contribution can I make to change the situation. Should I just let the situation be and I change and move out of it so that I am not attached with this stagnancy anymore? And I make it very clear to everyone. Or I decide that, you know what, this situation needs movement, and I become someone who brings in that movement very gently. I nudge people and say that, you know what, this needs movement, and I'm the one doing that. So, are you okay with speeding this thing up? Or if there's any other way to make the situation work, maybe bring in an expert, bring in someone who knows how to deal with situations like this, and surrender myself to this expert, saying that, you know what, I don't know how to make this move, but do something for me that makes the situation flourish from where it is. So, likewise, I made three choices, let us say. I will walk the first path and see how my heart reacts. I will walk the second path where I stir situation things or stir things up for people in a very gentle way and see how my heart reacts. And third is when I bring in an expert to do it for me. How does it work? And out of these three things, whichever is going to give me more comfort, I'm going to be going ahead and choosing that in my life. So, this is about my contribution and not the situation. So, I hope this answered for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something? There's someone called Nanda Shetty who has raised the hand. Please go ahead and ask. Nandaji, you can go ahead and ask.
Actually, Siddhi, can I ask if she's not asking?
Yes, for sure.
Actually, the problem is stuck over there. Okay, now like I start moving, and then after some time I realize that again I'm coming back to the same position. I go round and round and round and round, and like I'm not going able to come out of that situation. Like some movement is taking place, but still I'm stuck there. I'm still stuck there.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So, see,
I'm
now you
thinking,
have a bigger
I'm
work to do
concentrating, I'm
because you're not.
moving, I'm like,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Actually, like I meditate, I do a lot of work, but still, again that same situation comes, and then I think that, oh my God, after like such a lot of time, also like I'm still over there only. Again, I start, again I move, then again in the same position. Like what to do? How to come out of that thing?
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. That see, now you have something more to work on. Something more, as in, you're not only weighing the situation from this time onward, you're weighing the situation from the time it started becoming stagnant for you. It's not moving only. Then every time, what is it that you've done? And you could have done differently for it to move faster. is something you need to weigh. Only you know that what you've done and that has not worked out for you. And how could you have changed? Now, this is a very deep exercise. You sit with it and you write so many things. I'm not saying that every time you make a decision it is going to be right, but whenever you make decision, thinking of what is bringing in more happiness, what are going to be consequences, and I'm choosing happier choices, you're more likely making a choice that is karmically helping you move forward. So whether the situation moves forward or it does not, when you are moving forward in the most karmically matured manner, in a spiritually matured manner, it's going to help you. So don't depend on these situations movement to suggest you whether you've learned. Go on changing your karmic pattern. Okay, so I've received a question from her saying that in body check, the choice might be made because I've gone through something in the past, so I'm comfortable. It may not be the right choice. That is my confusion. So, what makes you think that this is going to be a right choice for you? Is because it is going to bring in more happiness, or it is going to be bringing in more awareness, or you've weighed everyone's consequences in life? So, the right choice here is to bring in happiness for everyone and seeing that what everyone is going to be facing, including yourself. You're also going to be considering your self worth into this. You're not only going to be considering someone else's choices into this. Yeah. So I hope this has helped. If you have more questions, you can send me a question here. Okay, understood. Nice. Awesome. Any more questions here?
So just
Yeah.
one question here. So
Mhm.
how do you realize that, okay, I mean, it's a continuous process, okay? So each one you come in contact with has a purpose to play in your life. So how
Yes.
do you, realize that, yes, you've achieved something, or you're free of your, just by undergoing the karmic pattern course? I mean, any indicators you get, that give you a clarity, ki, yes, I have freed myself from this or something like that.
Yeah, you start feeling much lighter, and the relationship also starts becoming more flourishing, more beautiful. Yes, you do receive indicators when it starts taking its effect for good. Yes, you do receive them. And every time you think of that, you feel much lighter and more joyful regarding the same. And that's why I suggest everyone to take this up. In fact, the fee for the Karmic Patterns Experience Workshop, 7,500. For those of you who wish to be taking it in another 24 hours, I'm lowering it at rupees 5,500. You can go ahead and take it. Every day we are going to be doing some exercises. Every day you are going to be receiving these healings. And every day you're going to be making a difference and taking constructive steps into becoming better with your karmic journey. So, yes, coming back to you, tell me, it seems like you wanted to speak something more.
Yeah. So now, okay, you get indicators that, yes, you making better choices and all of that. So what
Hmm.
if, you are facing issues in your current journey, maybe health, maybe, your finances, or
Mhm.
could be even relation issues and all. So how will, those heal? As I know, somebody has gotten into, I'm just giving you a, example. So somebody has gotten into a real health issue because of the previous, karmas or whatever it is. So how will the healing happen out there?
So there are two things that you're doing, right? The very first thing, it will start taking an effect on what are the kind of choices you're making at present and making your future better with it. However, whatever has happened in past life, and you go back and start healing whatever has happened in the past, there are many things to be forgiven. There are many complexities, and that's what I address in the workshop that is coming. And maybe it's relationship, maybe it's some other soul, maybe it's some kind of kill, maybe it's some kind of knowledge, maybe it's you and universe and not you and a person, maybe it's you and yourself in past life and not something else. So all these things we go through one after the other and we start healing. It is more complex than what you've understood till now. So healing those that have come from past requires more attentions, more depth to go ahead and heal them. And that's why I'm asking you to pay more attention to first healing your present and your future, because from here at least you stop building anything that is negative going further ahead. Premaji, you have a sorry, you have more? Please
Yeah,
go ahead and ask.
Prema here. See, the
Hmm.
question was what I had was when you were talking about souls not completing, their karma in one journey, and they take, they may have multiple lives. So does that mean it is always you move into a human, or is
No,
it?
it does not even mean that you'll always move into this dimension. However, why would a soul choose a human life in this planet? Because out of all dimensions, it is very fast to let
Mm,
go of or receive your karmic lessons here on earth.
okay. Okay.
You experience the suffering, you experience so many things, and you're able to express. You can become an animal also and receive
Mm,
suffering. There are so many dogs, we just kill them.
yeah.
There are so many rats and mice. They don't
Yeah.
need to die. That is alive. There are so many mosquitoes uh, killed in a certain
Mm,
way.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, please.
Siddhi, just want to a little clarity. This 11 days thing is more a healing than a learning.
Yeah. So learning will be all inward. It does not include any other kind of learning that is certified learning. And yes, it includes healing, meditations, and taking forward steps to make your karmic journey more constructive. So this is more like an experience workshop, where you participate and where you start taking steps.
We'll be getting the manuals also Sadhi. Manuals like PDF. Do we want to
In
practice
that,
this it
no,
afterwards
there is
also?
nothing called as manuals. This is going to be an experience workshop. So there you come and participate is going to be a bigger thing than for you to go ahead and read through a manual.
Sadhi, what is the timing of this workshop?
Evening 5 to 6.
Like
So
if I'm not back by 5,
yeah, so you can see through replays, and those of you who can't join now, this is going to be coming back in the month of November also. So you can join in the month of November. This is because of Navratri. I've kept it specifically for that. I've done these before also in the mornings also and nights also. But later, when I'm going to be coming with this, it is going to be evening or night time for us to be taking it. Yeah.
So just
Awesome.
one question here. So you
Sanjay.
said that this is going to be, I mean, this is pretty deep, and then we only as of now doing the healing, correct? So supposing my soul or whatever the journey for now is for this life, it helps. But what happens maybe if my soul has got to go through more, this wants to learn its lessons or whatever. So is this going to get carried forward? As in, will it decide to continue again in the future journeys, and then get the guidance to lessen the karmic patterns or whatever, or how does it actually phase out in the next in the coming in its coming journeys rather?
In a lot of scriptures, our past karma, I'm talking about our past karma right now, are defined as in three ways. Number
Okay.
one way is a line that you make on water. You make and it gets rubbed off, right? Second is a line that you make carve on sand. Takes a while, but it goes off in a while. And third is the line that you make on a rock that takes ages and ages to be wiped out. So karma is that way. Some karma, you just make line on water or air, it goes off. So in the same life, you can just wipe it off. You can wipe it clean. You made a mistake, you realized instantly, you apologized instantly, you made it up. Our karma that you're settling right there and then. There are certain karma which are like making a line on sand. So maybe in this life or just one more life, it'll be cleared. It's easy. It's not difficult. You need to put in some effort and you can clear off. While there are certain karmas that we may have made like a line on a rock, which takes time, in which start uh, bleeding onto, as in moving on to from one life to the other for you to be able to pay back. However, when you change your pattern, now if I've changed my pattern and I'm operating from the place of love, maybe someone came and cheated me on money. I'm talking about the same pattern that I gave an example for. That someone has a pattern of someone else constantly cheating on money. So I could be operating from fear, I could be operating from angst, or I could be operating from many other things. But now I understand and I let the love flow. Forgive the person instantly. So some step I've achieved here. That is not going to be faced again because it's like exams. I've cleared grade one. Now I move on to grade two. I don't need to give exams for grade one anymore. Then some part of it I've cleared. Then if there's more learning out of it that I need to go ahead and do, I need to go ahead and check that. Now this is one thing that came. I'm sorry, I'm diverting this a little because this is, I see a relationship between both of these. For a lot of people, I do Akashic readings. And when I do Akashic readings, I don't stick to only one past life. I don't stick to only one problem that has come in front of me. I move on to see long history. So with one person, realize that money issues because of greed that happened in one life. Now, why did this greed come into picture? For that, I moved on to another life to see. And I saw that the person faced something, some setback in life, because of which insecurities crept in to the person, because of which he wanted to store more, settle more, keep more for him. They developed greed. Now, because the person faced something negative in his life, I had to see why the person faced that in that life, take that learning. So I had to see one more life. When I realized that out of jealousy, the person had done something wrong to someone else when it came to money. Now, it was not only greed that the person had to learn and release, it was greed and insecurity and fear and jealousy. And if I would move on from where the jealousy came and what all happened, it will keep on adding things. Now, at a deeper soul level, the soul maybe learned not to have greed. I told the person. But what about the other lessons? Those also need to go out of the soul's pattern for the soul to move back to the original blueprint and move out of all the cycles completely. And that's why in Akashika I also teach how to learn with Lady Kuan Yin's karmic healings and move into clearing all these emotions out. Because it's very important for a soul to evolve with these emotions also. It's very important. Because right now on the surface, you're able to see that this is anger, this is greed, this is this. Maybe something else gave birth to this greed. It will come in your learnings as you move forward. I hope I've answered this for you.
So I get that. So now, so the healing happens when, somebody else who you have to take learning from is also willing to forgive. You seek forgiveness to your
No,
partner.
no. When one person forgives, it starts. It starts because there are two things. One is maybe you're doing forgiveness with me, but you have a certain picture of me in your mind, right? As a person. You're
Yeah.
forgiving that. So your love towards Siddhi is changing, right? Your perception, your judgments towards Siddhi, you've released completely. Now that part of Siddhi inside you gets healed. And that vibe that you start sending Siddhi every time gets healed. So what happens when Siddhi is not willing to forgive or help?
Right.
You will constantly ascend the Siddhi's choice whether she wants to ascend or no. So Siddhi chooses, I will stay where I am. I'm happy. I'm finding my comfort in the pain that I have in my life. And this I see as a problem with a lot of people who get depressed. They find ease in being depressed. Self pity. So Siddhi has taken self pity. I'm like, मैं तो ऐसे ही रहूंगी. I'm going to be staying this way. You will slowly, your energies keep flowing love towards me, but whatever I'm doing, your energies will become indifferent. It will stop affecting, or it will keep healing you because of the love you're able to generate right from within you. You're not depending on someone else to give you love that heals you. You're able to become that energy center that produces love the whole time, that constantly heals you. And slowly, my vibes that I'm throwing out at you will not affect you so much because your love is far more powerful. The vibration, the frequency of love, gratitude, and bliss and ultimate joy are far higher than these frequencies. So they are always going to win over, provided you're able to produce it. So, yes, it does not matter whether the other person is ready to forgive you or not forgive you. They are going to be mapping their journey depending on their spiritual maturity and understanding. Maybe it's not time for them to understand and move out of it. When it will be their turn, they will understand and they will move out of it in the way they are able to see things or they open up to it. You can't forcefully open someone up to forgiveness and these things.
So to put simple, I have learned the lesson, I move on.
Yes,
Okay, got that. Yeah, thank you.
you're welcome. Sorry to make it preachy for you.
Yeah, no, they definitely helps. Okay, it's pretty interesting actually. So the more you delve into, it's too very. I mean, as you said, it's pretty complicated. But then, as you delve into it, it makes life a lot easier. And then you try to start connecting the dots and realize why something is happening to you. So, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Siddhi, is there time for one more question?
Yes, yes. Sure.
Okay, I had a doubt now. In a family, sometimes there are patterns where all the women of the family are struggling and suffering and whatever and all that.
Mhm.
Is that like a karmic pattern for the whole family, or is it like an ancestral curse? What?
Both,
Ah,
both.
double
There's a
whammy.
reason why we chose. There's a reason why so many people died in the same plane crash. There's a reason why so many people died in the same big event or big flood or big something that happened. It had to take so many lives in one go, and all the souls had decided to go through that lessons in one go. So it could be a bomb blast, it could be something else, it could be something else. So, yes, it is sometimes an ancestral pattern, but it was a part of your karmic journey, and that's why you chose an ancestral line like this. But now, when you heal this aspect, you not only heal yourself, but the generations that are going to be coming going forward. And because, okay, I forgot telling this to you all, because we've chosen certain kind of lessons in our life, we are born under a certain nakshatra, a certain star, a certain constellation, certain day, certain number, certain this thing that is conducive to go ahead and give us lesson from time to time. Sorry.
Yeah, that is really amazing. Actually, my sisters and I all are born under number one. My elder sister was 10, my younger sister is 19, and I'm 28. So it all comes up to that number one. And we have very
Yeah.
similar
Right.
issues. But thank you.
You're welcome. In my family, number three is ruling as of now. Okay. With this, any more questions? If not, I will be simply taking your leave. Thank you so very much. If you all are guided to go ahead and have a look at my karmic patterns workshop and participate in that, I assure you it is going to give you a lot of changes coming into your life. A lot of people have improved their relationships, have broken out of their money barriers, and made their health also beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. And with this, I will wait for my next webinar to come in with equally interesting topics. And thank you so much for your continuous participation in this and being with me till here. And those of you who are willing to go ahead and take up the workshop, I'm offering a discount for another 24 hours. Instead of 7,500, it is going to be 5,500. And see you all. Thank you so very much.
You
Thank you.
want to request? Can I
Thank
call
you.
you? Yeah,
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you on behalf of a friend. So can I call
Sanjay.
you right away on your number?
Yes, 10 minutes after this will work.
Yeah, not a problem. I can call you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much. On the same
Bhumika,
number on the group,
sorry,
right?
sorry. Yeah, the same
Yeah,
number
I
on
got
the.
confused. Sorry, Siddhi. That's why I asked. Because
Haha.
I
Yeah.
understood it is a healing, and then I got confused. It's healing or it's a
I'm
workshop.
calling it a workshop because it is an 11 days package where you go ahead and evolve yourself every day. So it is a mix of exercises, it is a mix of healings, and it is also an inward journey where you don't learn about outside thing, but how you can make yourself better. So that kind of a workshop. It's like an experience journey.
All
Can
right,
we
Siddhi. Thank you
Siddhi, can
very
we
much. This
start
is
time,
really wonderful of you.
change? Or is it like pre-decided 5 to 6 you said, right? Can it start a little
Yeah.
later? As in,
Uh,
because it clashes here with the work time. So is there scope?
I will be only able to confirm by tomorrow because it is Navratra. I will
Uh-huh.
be doing a lot of pujas, chanting, stuff like that. And I think it might be a little difficult because I intend to finish it at certain time. And then people who are taking up psychic empowerment, I've given them time slot from 7 to 7:30, and then I will be moving on to my puja. So, but this will come again in the month of November, as I assured you. Diwali is also another time when you must change your patterns, but I'm not going to be keeping it in Diwali so that you can give time to your family members. It will be post Diwali and we'll make this.
Okay. But then anytime you do, the impact or the results will be on the same times, right? As in,
Yes.
because Navratra time is pretty auspicious and, you tend to.
This is definitely an auspicious time. So this energies will help us more.
Mhm.
However, any point in time when you decide that I'm going to change myself from here on is auspicious for you. Okay, so that is your life's mark. That this was the moment where everything in my life changed. So that's okay.
Thank
Siddhi,
you.
can I ask one more question?
Yes, please.
Siddhi, actually, like I just wanted to ask after, will I be able to heal my sister? Like she has a problem. She's married for 13 years and she doesn't have any issue. So
Mhm.
that is the problem that she's going into. And like I have told her, but she's not, she's not interested because एक level hota hai jab like you say कि nothing is going to work. Like, she's like kind of depressed and everything. So if I'm going to talk to her, I will be telling her about this workshop also, but I don't think that she will be able to take this workshop because like she's under that kind of depressive phase. So
Yeah.
like, will I be able to heal her after taking the
If
healing
you
and
want to heal her and
will it
change
work
her
with her?
karmic If you want to heal her and change her karmic patterns, I would suggest that you take up Lady Kuan Yin's lavender flame. That you can send her in distance, and that will slowly open her up to what kind of changes. Plus, Lady Kuan Yin has helped many other women also when it comes to their conceiving and many other issues. However, with certain people, if it is a karmic journey, it takes time, or it might not even happen. But it has happened with a lot of people in front of me, so that I can talk about it. Okay, so if you wanted to go ahead and take something up that helps others, you can take up Lady Kuan Yin's lavender flame.
Like this will be in this workshop also.
No,
This
there's
is a
going to
part
be
of
a
this
separate
workshop also, or
workshop,
like I
one day workshop. There's going to be a separate 1 day workshop of Lady Kuan Yin's lavender flame, where the
okay.
technique and healing
And
system
this
of that workshop is taught. It is a certified workshop. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, with this, everyone, I take your leave. Thank you so very much. Arigato gozaimasu. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhi ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhi.
Thank you. Thank you.